right, so here we go, guys. What's up, everybody? I hope you're all doing well, and welcome to Free Throws. I'm Coach Kenya, and I'm here with the one and only Wayno. What's going on, Wayno?
What's up, Kenya? How you doing?
I'm good.
Getting
I'm
ready for
good.
this 4th? Are we even celebrating the 4th of July? You know, it's been a controversial year. Are we still, are we celebrating independence? I don't know what's going on right now.
I'm celebrating life. I'm not necessarily celebrating the independence in the history of that, because it is a very controversial holiday, but it is definitely going to be a good time to just spend some time with my family and just kick back and relax, because God only knows we need a break. There's a lot going on, you know?
Right.
It's going to be a mental health break. So I hope everybody's doing the same. I hope you're having cookouts. I hope you're social distancing. I hope you're wearing a mask. And speaking of wearing masks, we have our special guest mentor in the building with us today. Rikkardo, how you doing?
You know how we carry. How you guys doing? Good.
Doing good. How you doing, brother?
We're good. We're excited to sit here and have a conversation with you today and just bring you, free throws. So a little bit about free throws. Wayno, why don't you explain to everybody what we've been doing for the last, I think it's been 10 weeks. We've been doing free throws.
Yeah, we've been going pretty strong. So free throws is something that I created 3 years ago, summer 2017. I was transitioning into a few new things. And a lot of people have always told me to, start a blog, write a book, ask me for advice. And I figured, I utilize Instagram Live. And I utilize Instagram Live every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. to talk to any and everybody that I could get to about helping them or giving them advice on what it is they want to do in life. It's not, solely predicated on music, of course, because I'm in music. Most people that are into music, come on free throws. But it's just about, free throws is about sharing. It's about sharing stories. It's about sharing experiences. And it's about sharing information. And, we've been trying to, like Kenya said, we've been trying to build this community over the past 10 weeks, during quarantine. We decided to start it up again. And, it's been pretty dope. So like any and everybody that's been involved, I truly appreciate y'all time, because, even though it is an opportunity to get some advice, you don't have to spend an hour on your Thursday or Friday, Thursday, Friday doing stuff like this. So I'm very grateful for each and everybody who comes on, spreads the word, just engages.
100%. So Ricky, we want to hear all about you. You have a lot of things going on. You're an artist, but you're also an entrepreneur, and you just seem like a real well-rounded hustler. So just tell us a little bit about what you've been working on and, what you have coming up.
Thank you for the amazing intro. Well, I got a lot of things going on right now. Shout out to Saucy, you see it. Shout out to Alex Todd, the big homie. Well, what we're doing right now, we're putting together like a whole wave. You know what I'm saying? Like with the whole culture, as far as how the culture is leaning towards the marijuana business being more legal and everything. So we're just taking the right routes to get everything, together and all that. On my part, I'm learning the whole game. So I'm doing that. I have the music that's going crazy right now, that we just jumping in. Shout out to my boy, Double G. We have a video right now we putting out. It's called Go Crazy. I just put something out with my boy D-Boy Low. That's Mitch. If you ever heard Bobby Shmurda on the Hot Nigga song, he's like, Mitch called a body about a week ago. That's Mitch, D-Boy Low. We just put something out. We just cracked 100,000. Shout out to Crest Play in UK. So, the steam is picking up and everything. I have a studio that I run and I manage and everything. And we have a lot of artists who do artist development. We have producers, we have engineers. Like as long as you're talented, you're welcome to come inside. You know what I mean? So we try to keep away anything that doesn't have anything to do with music in here. You know what I'm saying? So I just find a way to keep everything balanced. Keep everything balanced and have a home for people that don't have a home to work on their talent. You know what I'm saying? So we'll have like 16, 17-year-olds come in. We'll block out half of the studio. So like maybe there's no weed smoke too much around them and all that. You know what I'm saying? Let them go to work. You know what I'm saying? Let them do what they do. You know what I'm saying? Then after that, it might be some engineers that pull up that we be like, all right, we hear about them, like come through. We hear how they work. If they good, then we set up sessions and all that. They set up their sessions and, they come in, they work and all that. You know what I'm saying? So like, I just got my hand on in the community with this music. So like, that's why it's kind of like like working on my benefit too, as far as like the fans, the listeners, and the people who supporting me. You understand what I'm saying?
I have a question. So how do you manage all this time? Because that's a lot of stuff to do in 1 week. You know what I mean? So how do you manage your time with doing all this?
I think it's really about like when you actually enjoy something and you actually really like doing it and enjoy, like time is like, you don't really watch time. You just realize how much time you spent after the week. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you just devoted and dedicated to it. You know, nothing else really matters unless it's something that's like, you know, real important or key to your life. You know what I mean? But nothing else really matters. Like it's just the music, and it's about getting from point A to point B. You know what I mean? And there's nothing else, just tunnel vision. You know what I'm saying? As long as the family good, there's nothing else to worry about.
Perfect.
Word.
Yeah, no, I respect that you do have a lot of stuff going on, because I know that sometimes it takes many things to get one thing right? We have to have multiple hustles and multiple streams of income. And, you know, it's important not to put ourselves in like one box and be codependent on that. So I respect all the things that you're doing, because, you know, having options is a good thing, especially with everything going on with the economy. And it's important to recession proof yourself if you can.
That's a fact. Real talk. And like I said, we just keep pushing. You know, this Willpower Studios, like where I'm at right now, it's my studio. I just keep people coming in, all the young talent, anybody done been in here. Like if they really was popping in New York or Brooklyn, they done been in here. You know what I'm saying? So like I don't got to talk about it. You know, like it speaks for itself. You know what I'm saying?
Awesome. So I'm sure you have some great advice to give, you know, a lot of our creators that we have on here today. So we're celebrating free throws this week. You know, we've been through many episodes. We've got some return free throwers that we brought back in celebration for this episode. So I'm going to start with Hunter, who has been supporting us. He's one of our day ones. I'm going to unmute him and I'm going to start with him. How you doing? Hold on a second. There you go.
Pretty well. How are you guys doing?
Good.
All right.
What's up, man? What's up?
Hey, first off, I just want to thank you guys for letting me on again. Kenya, Wayno, like you said, it's 10 weeks in, and you know, every week is exciting. You know, a lot of brand new information, and I love watching the show grow. I think this is just an extremely important opportunity that you give us, the viewers, to kind of get in, sit in, and talk to like-minded individuals like yourself. And Ricky, how are you doing, my man?
I'm groovy, Brody. How are you?
I'm doing well. Hopefully you're staying safe in New York. I know, you know, things are tough right now, and they've been tough, but, you know, I see that you're still working and improving and grinding up on, you know, with the music. So that's what my question is going to be centered around. It's going to be centered around the music, New York, and the scene itself. So obviously, as you know, like New York drill is, you know, popping off, especially right in Brooklyn with like 22 G's, Pop Smoke, rest in peace, yourself, 504, and a lot of other drill artists. How are you and what are you doing to kind of bridge the gap between different New York drill artists and New York artists in general to kind of elevate the scene and elevate the whole drill genre to a next level?
Well, first off, it's really about like being yourself on the beat. Sometimes like people will get it misconstrued. They'll try to emulate who they heard prior. So like just because you hear like a style of beat, it's like hearing rock and roll, but not every rock star sounds like every rock star. You know what I'm saying? So like the thing about the UK drill in New York is like certain people blew up. You know what I mean? Like rest in peace Pop, you know what I'm saying? Woo, you know what I'm saying? Like he took it to another level. You know what I mean? Chef G and Sleepy Hollows, my brothers, who I got a video coming out with in a couple, like maybe like in 2 months. They took it to another level. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like now you just got to sit back and figure out like how you can do it yourself and be yourself, but still on that same type of wavelength. You understand what I'm saying? So finding new flows, finding your voice, finding ways to say your words. Like, you know what I'm saying? Finding your own lingo. You know what I mean? All that plays a part. Finding a way to your energy, the way you depict your energy on camera to make people feel the record. You know what I'm saying? So like it's all about being yourself, adding your own twist to it and making it yours. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and so what I get is that, you know, the drill and the music, like you can tell it's a drill song, but each artist has a different delivery, like a little bit more of a unique flow, and their videos are a little bit different, but at its core, it's drill. So yeah, that, you know, like what steps are you taking to kind of make yourself stand out, you know, from the
rest? I have a lot of melody based records. You know what I'm saying? Like when you guys like really tap in, and I'm gonna release one later on in the year. After I drop this next record, these next 2 records, but I just do a lot of melodies. I stay in the studio. I do the singing and everything too. So a lot of people they heads get bust when they come to the studio. I play some unreleased music and they'll be like, "Yo, who the hell is that?" You know what I'm saying? And they'll be like, "Yo, that's you," and their head be completely bust. But it's all about like how you feed them the music. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, right now I'm in a pocket. You know what I mean? People's liking what's going on. They liking the music. So I'm gonna feed them some of that. You know what I'm saying? Keep feeding them that, and I'm gonna surprise y'all with a whole nother style, and I'm gonna ease it into y'all instead of forcing it to y'all. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely do the melodic rap, and I definitely do the real lyrical, conscious rap too. It depends on how I feel when I wake up in the morning. It depends, like, you know what I'm saying, how I feel in the studio. So I have tons of different types of music, but when it comes to marketing and putting on your records and knowing what to hit and what people want from you at the time, you also got to be courteous of that. You understand what I'm saying? So that's just how we're moving right now. And by the end of the year, you're going to see a record you never going to even thought you heard from a drill artist. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to completely switch it up, and I'm going to fuck y'all heads up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love that. I love, you know, you want to stay in your lane, but you also want to have a little bit of variety for your fans, because that really keeps them coming in. That's keeping new customers, new fans coming in as well. So, you know, building on top of that, are you wanting to work with other artists outside of the drill genre, especially in New York? I know how important it is to like kind of work with each other to build each other up.
Yeah. I'm not opposed to working with anybody, honestly. It just has to make sense. You know, like there's people like you might like their music, but that doesn't mean like you and them will make good music together. You kind of got to hear it and know who you will vibe with and stuff like that. And you know what I mean? I've heard people that I will work with, you know what I'm saying? Definitely, like I can name some names right now, but it'll be obvious. You know what I'm saying? And I'm already working with some people already. So I just keep it organic, man. Like I'll work with anybody that makes sense, that I like their music. It's not just about the numbers, and it's not just about, oh, if he got clout or whatever. If I don't like your music, or I don't feel like we can mesh musically, then we could just be homies from afar. I'll support you, pull up to your show, whatever. But we don't really got to do the music, because I take that real serious. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's kind of like it's, you know, how important that person is behind the music. And, you know, like you said, numbers aren't everything. It's about the longevity. Is your music going to last, or is it going to go away in a couple of weeks?
Exactly.
And I wanted you to kind of build a little bit more on what you're doing.
Hunter. Yeah, you
Hunter,
got it. Listen, you got it.
It's all good. We got to keep it pushing though, because we
Oh
have
yeah,
a bunch
my
of
bad.
other.
I just, you know, I'm
It's
picking
all
his
good.
brain.
I know.
I know.
Listen, I know that you're trying to get into creating content, because that's what you came here for originally. That you was telling us, but brother, you can't do a whole interview when we got to do free throws. Okay.
My bad. That's my bad. Thank
It's
you.
all good, Hunter, man. I love your ambition, man. You know that.
I'll be sure to ask you plenty more questions. So,
it's all good, and you can throw some in the chat if you want. You have great interviewing skills, by the way.
Yeah, you get it together. You definitely get it together.
Thank you.
You got it. So listen, we appreciate you, Hunter, so much. All right, please stick around. All right, we're gonna keep going. We have to go to the next person. All right, so let's see here. Dominique.
How y'all doing?
What's up, Dom? How you doing?
What it do, man?
Doing good. Thank y'all for having me on again. I had a couple questions.
With stick to one, and then we can see where we end up.
Yeah, please. We gotta give everybody their chance to speak, bro. Please.
Yes, sir. Okay. My question was, again, like I said, shout the handle out at Messi803 on Instagram, Ranting with Neek podcast on all the podcast platforms. My question was, do you all believe that podcasting has become like the new rap game? It seems as if the space is real saturated. Mm-hmm. And with that being said, it's very saturated, with podcasting. What I figured out in the first that I've been doing it, the websites, they put your podcast on different host sites and you get paid based off the plays. So it's kind of similar to rappers. You know, you go through DistroKid, you put your music on Spotify, you get paid under a penny for a stream. So with that, what's stopping artists and maybe podcasters that are really popping from like creating their own platform to where they can get paid directly through like ads versus going through a Spotify or Anchor? Is it possible? Is it?
I mean, that's very interesting. I think that, this is kind of like, you have a great idea, right? But it's kind of like when did you see recently when Kyrie was like, yo, we could just start our own league, right? Like it sounds good, right? But it's years, like when we talk about podcasting, it's years of technology that's possibly the barrier between, being able to do something like that and distribution, as being able to do something like that and not. I think that podcasting is like any other, I wouldn't just call it a trend, but it has become trendy. I think that like most people figure out that when they're chilling, they have good conversation and they're like, hey, somebody might want to hear our conversation. So the difference between like having a successful one and having one that just sits among many is the distinction, is the what the category, what makes mine not better, but what makes mine more interesting than the other ones that are out. I can't specifically speak to as like why podcasters haven't done that, but I know it's most likely a technology and distribution type issue, because you can't, not saying that you can't do it, but like in order to do something like that, it's probably going to take years and years of stuff to catch up in that realm. And by the time you catch up to what they're on right now, 2020, it'll be another wave of whatever this is that we're into now that's going to change. So I would say, like, look into the best opportunities that are there within the podcasting that you're doing, but yeah, I think it's like, it's oversaturated. It's super oversaturated. Everybody and their mom's got a podcast. I just had to tell one of my close friends, he has a podcast called, I don't want to say what it is because I don't want to give him a bad look, but it's something that's related to drinking, but he does it in a car. And I'm like, yo, dog, you can't be drinking and sitting in a car. Like, and he was like, oh, I didn't think of that. I'm like, yeah, drinking and driving kills people. Like, you can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't do that. So it's like, he has a great idea and a great podcast, but I'm like, yo, you need to just change your setting. Like, you can't drink and sit in a car. Like, that's already sending the wrong message optically without you even knowing it. So, you've been here for a minute, Dom. Like, you've been on a few of the free throws. You know what it is to, like, you've been able to talk to Rennie, talk to a few different people. You know how you got to create your distinctions, you know what I mean, to keep it going.
Yeah. Okay.
For sure. And I just think from a distribution standpoint, like, I think the best way, are you looking to monetize your podcast?
I mean, with my podcast, Ranting with Neek, with doing it through Anchor, they do monetize it through other platforms. Like, I just got an email last week, they put it on iHeart. So anytime it's streamed on iHeart, I do get under a cent for a play. Spotify, Radio Public, Breaker, all of those. So, it's cool. I like it. But I'm just trying to figure out a way to make it bigger.
Well, I think go ahead. I was just going to tell you, there's different types of distribution deals, like
okay,
that you have where you're kind of getting a pay for play type of situation. And then there's larger distribution deals where you deal with the networks directly, where they're, you can set up some sort of like rev share situation. So there's two other ways. I would say the best way to get it cracking, because here's the thing, right? They're only giving you like a penny on the dollar for every download or whatever the listenership is. I feel like the game is YouTube. And if like you can get 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and get 4,000 hours watched, then YouTube will start paying you a lot more than a penny on the dollar for views. You know what I'm saying? So that would be the hustle, right? So you could have the background, what you've been doing with the podcasting platform stuff, but that would be my front runner. And once you grow your audience big enough on YouTube and you can have a bigger conversation with a network about a rev share conversation, then that would be my pivot.
Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, Coach. I'm a look into that. No, I'm gonna do it because you said
that's good.
Yeah. It already is half the battle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Good
Appreciate
stuff.
y'all.
Good stuff. Yeah, you're welcome, and thanks for coming back. We appreciate you.
No problem.
So
Thank
we're gonna
y'all.
keep it moving. Yeah, for sure. And I just want to thank everybody who's been supporting this and sharing it and liking it, and that means a lot because we were growing this from scratch, and you guys helping us and being a part of it has meant so much. So Anthony, how you doing?
Can you hear me?
We can.
Yeah.
Hey, how y'all guys doing?
We're
Wayno,
good.
right.
How are
Ricky.
you?
I'm all right.
What it
First and foremost, I want to thank y'all for the last time. For the 7 years I was off social media, I was not in jail. It was just I just didn't mess with it. So I just want to let people know. People set me up about that. And second of all, a lot of people set me up about personal finance and business finance. I just want to thank you for the opportunity. People actually came to me because of your podcast. So I want to sincerely thank you guys for that.
Awesome.
Today's question, thank you. Today's question I would like to ask is, how do you network via social media? Once again, I'm a fish out of water when it comes to the whole DM, and how do you do it without being spammy, or how do you do it properly? What would you guys say? I can start off with Ricky. What do you think about approaching someone via social media that you've never met before and they don't know you at all?
All right, now the thing about social media is, if you're trying to approach somebody on social media, the first thing that I think you should do is you don't just sit there and attack them with what you want first. Actually show love to somebody's page, man. Like actually look at their page, go through some pictures, go through some videos, look at some stuff you like, leave a comment or something. Show the person that you actually like, or like, I don't want to say into them pause, but like you follow them, like you know what I'm saying? You like what they got going on. Like a lot of people, they'll just follow somebody and automatically hit them in the DM like, yo, check out my shit, retweet. Like, what the hell is that? Like, somebody's just gonna look at it like, get out of here. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, you gotta show love. You gotta, to me, I always like, I show love back to people. So like, I'll go on your picture. I might leave a comment to somebody that's random, one of my followers or something like that, that I know that they're tuned, they tapped in all the time to my stuff. You know what I'm saying? Once in a while, I see that stuff. I'm gonna like it, and if I see it, and I'm gonna comment. I'm not gonna be bougie and not, you know what I'm saying? So like, I've been seeing my stuff grow like that, organically, hand in hand, like meeting people on Instagram by actually taking a liking to what they're doing, and they take a liking to what you're doing, and then it becomes more organic, the conversation. You know what I'm saying? So like, or you have to actually like go outside and network and be seen places and make sure people know who you are. So when you actually go to the Instagram, you're not like a stranger and you don't look like a weirdo or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody, Joe Schmo, they're like, oh, I seen this person here before. Oh, I heard of him. I seen him at this party. Oh, I seen him at this show, and they could connect the dots. You know what I'm saying?
Got it. Okay. I like that. Kenya or Wayno, what have any advice on that also?
As far as networking via social media, that was the question, right?
Yes. It's easy, in the physical sense.
Yeah.
But social media, just crazy.
No, absolutely. I think, somewhat of what, Rick was saying, is how I've seen people be effective. I think like, for the most part, it's all in the approach. You know what I mean? Like, it's all in the approach. So what you doing networking, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to push what you're working on, which is financial literacy?
Yes. I just see so many people, they seem like they got it, and then in real life they don't. You know what I mean? And when I was talking to people, and the reach that I got back on based on, I want to pursue my dreams, it starts with having a job so you can fund your dream, right? And giving them step by step. So I'm trying to figure out a way, because I don't need nothing from them, and I just want to provide.
I'm trying to educate.
Yeah, that's all. None more, none less.
Well, I think
a weird dynamic.
Well, I don't think it's really a weird dynamic. I remember I had Waka Flocka on we had Waka Flocka on Everyday Struggle, and we were talking about like finances outside of music, and he said that he learned stocks by one of his followers DMing him. You know, he's like one of his followers just DM'd him and was like, yo, you know, he said, I seen you say something about stocks, and if you really want to learn, like, I'd be more than willing to teach you. And he was like, yo, this dude became one of my best friends. You know, so, and that's lightning in a bottle. That doesn't always happen, you know, but I think that, you know, for what we push over here at Free Throws and, you know, the message that you're trying to convey, I think that it might take you, like right now you're on camera. It might take you sitting in a room and giving like the best 5 steps for a person to start a bank account. You know, like I think that's the thing. It's like, you know, when we talk about financial literacy, most people who hear it that are our people, they don't even know where to start. You know, it kind of sounds a little bit scary to them. So they think, oh, like, especially like when you're talking about people who are making large amounts of money, they're like, oh, somebody's trying to touch my money without like, I don't want nobody touching my money. You know, like everybody's real personal with it. But I think that like financial literacy, like right now, I teach my kids like their allowance. I wire them their allowance every week, and they have to save a portion of it, but they can spend a portion of it. You know, I think that if you take like, okay, let me come up with a small curriculum for, you know, demos. Like, okay, if kids are starting to get, let's say the 10-year-old kid that's starting to earn money, may that be selling lemonade or shoveling snow, etc. Let me make a curriculum that I can show a 10-year-old kid up until 13, right? Yeah. By the time they 13, 14 is when they get their own jobs. But it's something that they can maybe show their parents, like, yo, listen, mom, like, it's this guy, he's saying that he could teach me how to save money. You know, can we order his curriculum? Like, you should go back and watch our Derek Grace episode. Derek Grace, like
oh boy,
yeah, you should definitely watch his stuff. But it's like, you know, I think that you have to figure out a way how to market your services as opposed to just like networking, because like networking sounds cool, but that shit is hard. I'm not gonna lie, man. It's really hard. It's like one day I DM'd John Wall randomly, and I just told, because he was going through mad injuries. I don't know John Wall from a can of paint. I just like, yo, hey, young brother, like I've been watching your career since college and everything that you're going through. You know, I'm praying that you get through it and you're gonna come back even stronger. He hit me right back like, yo, you don't know how much I needed that, and he followed me. I mean, I'm Wayno, but this is John Wall. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so yeah. I was a bit excited, but I'm able to do that based on the platform that I have. I think that if you figure out ways to like kind of shortly explain what it is that you're trying to do, and then you market that and distribute it on social media platforms, like use a Facebook, use a Twitter, I mean, you got Free Throws in your corner. We'll post it on our story. You know what I'm saying? Like, use these platforms so that you can get your voice heard. But I think that what you're doing is one of the most needed things within our community.
I'm gonna cut my time short. It's just, the only thing I want to say is, it just seems like personal finance and business finance is so taboo to talk about in the minority community. And I feel like we need to break the walls and say, yo, I don't got it, or I do got it, or how do I do this? And I feel like that's what we need to do personally. That's all.
What you're saying is so, what you're saying is so real, because a lot of people don't want to admit that they don't got it. You know what I mean? That's just a harsh reality. It's like, you know, that's just a harsh reality. And the thing about it is, it's okay to not have it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, with the crazy thing about our community is we talk about all this hardship and despair and all this shit that we grow through. But as soon as we get a couple little fucking dollars, we acting like we Scrooge McDuck, like we Richie Rich, like we got so much fucking bread and nobody can tell us anything. And I think like what you said and what I'm saying right now is how you should attack it. Just root your message in honesty. I mean, just truly root your message in honesty, because if you're really like, you know, this is something that if you're passionate about, and it's like, yeah, of course it can make you money, but you're trying to really help. Like, for all the people who don't fuck with it, all you need is one, and then one get you another one, and then one get you another one, and just keep going one by one. You know what I'm saying? But don't get discouraged about it. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll get there.
I'm not going to take nobody else's time. Thank you once again for the
Nah,
Oh, Kenya, if you got anything on that.
No, I was just going to piggyback off Wayno a little bit. I think like now is the time to be having these conversations. I mean, one thing that our culture has learned from this pandemic is that we cannot be in a position waiting for a handout. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't be codependent on stimulus checks. We can't be codependent on the government. You know, that system of codependency is what has kept us as a culture held back. You know what I mean? So one of the things that you can definitely help us do is help our culture build wealth. That's the only way we're ever going to have anything is if we have our own shit, right? So if you build a curriculum, you know, centered around like how as a culture we can build wealth, and I hear people talk all the time, oh, you know, we need to rebuild Black Wall Street, and we need to do is like, but we need to have implemented steps in order to get to that, right? And in order to have those things, we all have to be in a position so that we can contribute to that process. So I think it's timely. These conversations are timely because I'm gonna tell you, and I'm not really a Debbie Downer when it comes to things, but like shit's gonna get real in the next few months as election times comes up and as this pandemic starts to move. We're all gonna really see how things start to roll out. So now is the time to have those conversations.
Hey, Kenya, before we move on, that's another thing. For all of this money that people are saying, oh, we donating this, we donating that, we donating it, we gonna put this up, we about to get tested like never before. We're gonna get fucking tested because all this money that they putting in all these places, if we don't have the right people who know how to handle finance, allocate finance, grow finance, if we don't have it, when we get the opportunity to step up the bat, we're gonna strike out crazy. So that's why I said like what you're doing, it just has to be rooted in honesty. If you root that shit in honesty, and I'm talking about like just as real as you kept it with me, you might, I ain't gonna front, bro. You might gotta go on a little tangent. You might gotta rant a little bit because it's frustrating. It's frustrating to know that we think we know so much about money because we like to do the fans and play around with it and throw it in the air and all that shit, and we don't know a fucking thing. So if you root your message in honesty and you record yourself doing it, you got my full support. I'll share it on my platforms however I need to.
And I just want to give a fun fact to people. People might not know this, and I'll leave it alone. 8 out of 10 people don't even have $1,000. And this is in America. $1,000 people. And if 8 out of 10, think about it. You in the house with 10 people, 8 of them don't got $1,000 to their name. And I want people to wake up because the coronavirus would really have shown that it's just not a health issue, it's a financial issue. And I'm going to leave it with that. Equality comes from equity, and we need to put our money together so we can do what we need to do. I just wanted to pass it.
Hey, Kenya, we might need to have Anthony as the next mentor on free throws for real.
I think so. We should definitely get that going because you know that's a course within itself, right? Like
absolutely,
we all need to learn it. You know, I had to teach myself. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't always good with money. I used to be terrible with money. I would spend money before I even had it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but that's just.
What's the dumbest thing
y'all
ever spent money on?
Oh man, I like we got to keep it moving, but I got a laundry list.
When we have you back on, I'll tell you my money transition because I'm in a different space. But
yeah, me too. I've spent money on some stupid shit, like some real stupid shit.
All right, thank you again, guys.
Yeah, no problem, thank you so much.
I'll go on mute now. No worries.
All right.
All good.
Appreciate you, man. All right, so Frank's back. What's up, Frank?
You gotta take Frank off of mute.
Oh, hold on a second. Frank, I'm on mute you as long as you promise not to call me ma'am. Hold on. Go ahead.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, how y'all doing today?
Oh, we're well. How are you?
I'm good. I want to thank y'all for having me back on and stuff. I got on kind of late, so I don't know the other co-host y'all have today. What's his name?
His name is Rikkardo. He's an artist and an entrepreneur here in New York.
Okay, it's good to meet you, Ricky. I was just, my question is this. I have been doing, I do have my brand, Lotta Licks Lollipops, and what I've been doing recently is I've been doing like small like commercial ads or whatever, like illustrated ads, and I see that they work pretty good. You know, it's kind of like a cheat code, especially on Facebook and whatever and stuff. And my thing is, I know that like people's attention span is not like it used to be a long time ago. Like everybody likes short like stuff, especially when it comes down to commercials and things of that nature. And my thing is I'm trying to figure out, like, when I do my ads, is it more viable to put like plug my brand and all that stuff, like doing the first part of the ad? Do I do it like intervals, or do I just run it through the whole ad? 'Cause like I said, I know people's attention span is not as long as it used to be, and also, you know, I know sometimes they can get annoying to people too, like seeing the same thing. Sometimes, like when I listen to a radio ad or something like that, and people continuously say the same thing, I'm like, damn, I get it. You know, it kind of gets kind of annoying. So I want to know y'all thoughts on that.
Go ahead. You can go ahead, Rick.
I see it as like old keys don't open new doors, bro. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you've been attacking one circuit or one mark, like one placement, you keep hitting it, and you keep attacking it, it's not working for you, try somewhere else, bro. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's not the right market for what you're trying to push. You feel me? Maybe it's not the right place for it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
What I would say is get with a PR, get yourself a PR, get yourself in with somebody who's a guru at marketing, preferably Brunch Cake. You know what I'm saying? Richardine, shout out to her. And you'll see your stuff go places. You know, the more places your stuff are, the more visibility it gets, and the more different type of places, the better for you. So you can't just hit one market. Maybe like if you're on Instagram and you're just trying to put money on the ads, maybe that's not all you can do. Maybe you got to put it here. Maybe you got to get a placement here. Maybe you might have to get it on a commercial placement. Maybe anywhere, a movie placement, anything, any little thing counts. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody's going to see it like, oh, snap, I seen that. And then you got to make sure you have it somewhere where everybody can purchase it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's one thing to have it everywhere, and then you don't have it ready when people want it. You know what I'm saying? It got to be somewhere people can get it. And whether it's a fucking, part of my language, but a web link, you know what I'm saying, where they can order it and get it shipped to them, even if it's that. You know what I'm saying? You got to have that ready, but get as much visibility from different places as possible, bro. You know what I'm saying? If it's not just one. You know what I'm saying? If one is not working, go to the next one. And go to the next one, and go to the next one. You know what I'm saying? Or else new doors ain't gonna open up, bro.
Okay, Phil, you appreciate that. It's good advice.
Well, I was gonna say, you know, regarding, you know, your ads, if you, like you said, like, you know, if you have it playing continuously, you got to remember something about when advertising is programming. You know, it's basically programming. A lot of advertising programs your subconscious. You know, some days you could be on a you know, listening to the radio, driving around, and you might hear a Dunkin' Donuts commercial so many times that maybe not today, but tomorrow, the next time you walking by, you be like, damn, I want some Dunkin' Donuts. It's programming. So, you know, I think that you know, you might be in the right place now. How long are your ads that you're placing?
Well, I've sometimes they're like a minute. I'm trying to make them like no longer than like 45 seconds to a minute long. And like I said, you know, with my brand, I'm trying to get into like the animated part of doing, because I got something else I'm doing or whatever stuff that's coming up.
Cartoon and everything.
Yeah, and I'm trying to I guess not oversaturate the ad with a brand, like the words and logos and all that stuff. Well, I want people to like look at the ad, because the ads are supposed to be humorous, and you know, right. Yeah, and I want people to like make sure they visualize, look at the ad, you know, for what it is, and I don't want to, like, you know, just, I guess, bombard people with
It's cool, but this is the thing, right? There's a thin line between persistence and annoyance, right? So even with your ads, I think that everybody engages differently. So you got a person that can consume the content in 1 minute, but then you got a person that is only worth 45 seconds. Then you got another person that might be 30. Then you got another person that's 15. That's why when you ever watch like I love Marvel movies, right? When they drop the first official trailer, It's 2.5 minutes long. It's showing you, the first one might be like 30 seconds to show you the teaser. Then it's 2.5 minutes long. Then the next official trailer is another two minutes, but it's different from the third one. Then the next one might be a minute. Then the ones that they do leading up to the movie that week cut a little bit shorter, right? And that's because like, you know, people are consuming the content a little bit differently. I don't think that you may be taking the wrong approach. I just think that you need to understand that everybody that you're trying to market to might consume your shit a little bit differently. So have your 15-second ad, have your 30, have your 45, and have your minute. And you got to know how to use them though. That's the thing. Like look at your insights. Look at your insights and figure out what time people are engaging. For what you're pushing, it might be an afternoon thing. So in the afternoon, you might need to have that 30. You know, late at night, you might need to have that 15. You know what I'm saying? Like if you look at commercials, when it comes to us marketing, you got to understand yourself as a consumer before you market something. You know, so you got to think about it. Why do I like to buy the shit I like to buy? And if there's certain things that you like to buy, you got to look at the companies that's pushing it and say, how did they get my attention, right? I took a business class, I was about to say a few years ago. I took a business class 10 years ago. And what I learned was I learned marketing, I learned demographic, I learned geographic, and I learned psychographic. The psychographic is when you got to tap into a person's psyche. You got to tap into the consumer and how they're thinking. There are tons of people who think like you. That's why if you build, it's no problem with continuously running the ads, but you got to build it to a certain point because you really just need 10% of the engagement to actually buy something. You know, if you got it like, that's why like it even comes down to ownership. Like, let's say if a company came to you like, yo, Frank, I like what you're doing, but you know, we want to jump in, we want to help. You got to weigh your options because sometimes people think, well, I own 100%, but they don't be making nothing. 100% of zero is still zero. You know what I'm saying? But it's like if you're looking at it from the standpoint of business and you say, okay, if I can sacrifice this, I can get this then on the back end, then you'll be in a little bit of a better space when it comes to how you're promoting and how you're advertising and marketing and all of that. But in order to understand the consumer, you got to understand yourself. And the consumer is smarter than we usually think. A lot of people, like we say that a lot, like, yo, people attention spans, this, that, and the third, but we all got different types of consumers.
For sure.
I feel you.
Yeah, and just to you know, kind of bring things into perspective. So frequency is super key and important, especially when it comes to mediums like radio. So you want to try to buy as much audience as you possibly can, which is why you always hear a million radio commercials over and over again, which is why we play the same song over and over and over again, because people are listening at different times of the day. So the more frequency that you have, you're going to be able to catch those audiences, right? And when it comes to marketing, there's this theory, it's called the AIDA theory, and it's called awareness, interest, desire, and action, right? So you have people in a buying cycle, they're at the awareness phase, right? They've had a triggering event, right? In your case, they want, you know, lollipops, or they want something sweet. They're interested in finding somebody who offers that. There's a desire, right, to find a vendor, and then there's the action piece, right? Where radio and digital work super well in every single phase of those buying cycles. Print, if you're doing something visually, is very limited because it only works in the action phase. And I give people this example, like if you're in the market for a refrigerator, right, and you're flipping through the newspaper and you see a sale for a refrigerator, that's going to speak to you because you're now in the action phase of the buying cycle. If you weren't thinking about buying a refrigerator, you wouldn't pay no attention to that ad. So that's why print is very limited, where radio and digital are very intrusive and they're in your face. And I was thinking about when you said lollipops, you remember Tootsie Pops?
Yeah, I remember.
So you remember that owl, right? They used to use that owl was the character. They used to market the Tootsie Pop, right? So it's like that. I always remember those commercials from a kid, and like I have that association with that character, the owl, in the Tootsie Pops. You could create that same effect, or you can be like the modern day Tootsie Pop, right? So it's not about trying to create something new. It's about taking something that's already in place and putting your own spin on it and making it better. You know what I'm saying? Because the reality is that we're all going to eat lollipops. There's always going to be a market for lollipops. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean to interrupt you.
I don't sell lollipops. That's just the name of my brand of my
Oh,
clothing.
it's the name. Oh,
yeah. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
I'm sorry. What is your product again, Frank?
Yeah. Well, my characters are lollipops. It's like a family of lollipops, and they do like all types of humorous things or whatever and stuff.
Okay.
It's centered around like family and just family bonds and all that kind of good stuff, whatever and stuff. And they're animated characters, like basically.
But what is the product? Like, what are you selling physically?
Oh, I sell shirts and caps for right now.
Merchandise,
okay,
right?
Gotcha.
Yeah, with my characters on there. Yeah.
All right. So maybe he needs to add some lollipops to that merch, because I mean,
absolutely.
Hey, probably. Oh yeah. Now that you mentioned it, that's a good idea.
Listen, man.
I didn't know about this.
It's a hell of a listen. Let me tell you something. I always got on A Boogie and his team for him not having a hoodie to sell. You know what I mean? Like, how you A Boogie with the hoodie without a hoodie to sell? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you definitely should look into that, man. But yo, thank you, Frank, man. We really appreciate each and every one of y'all for coming on, man. Like, you know, it's great to just see y'all coming back. You know what I mean? It just shows that we're in the right direction.
Yeah. 1,000%. 1,000%. So I just have this lady in the corner. I want to unmute you really quick because I don't want you to feel left out from what we're doing. But you were on with us last week. You've been helping us on the back end with some PR things. So I just wanted to open the floor up to you. If there's anything you wanted to add to the free throw today, you're more than welcome.
I just love what you guys are doing, and I want to do everything in my power to keep it going and take it to the next level. That's all I have to say.
Appreciate that.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that.
So, well, we appreciate you, and we appreciate everybody who came on today. Ricky, man, thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
I love it.
For all the information and your insight.
And I appreciate y'all for having me, man, and for what y'all doing for the culture, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you.
So,
Yeah, we want to keep this going. So, you know, like I said, the best way that you can help support what we're doing is to share this information. If you know somebody who wants to come on free throws and wants to, you know, get some advice, or anybody that we can help, like, this is what we're doing this for. You know what I mean? Like, we really don't want to just, you know, talk the talk. We really want to put some action steps behind building our community. And this is definitely a platform that we're going to use to help, you know, do that. So we appreciate everybody. And we're here every week, every Friday. A new episode drops. All right. Follow us on Instagram. And we'll be back next week.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, we carry it.
No doubt.
All right.
All right,
Thanks.
guys.
Peace, y'all.
Peace out.
Have a good holiday, y'all.
Bye.